people crying out for justice. Some of them crying out for freedom.
Want freedom.
Everybody crying out for democracy. Now it's time to take a stand.
Good evening, one and all. Are you all okay? Are you all okay? Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that wonderful introduction. To my colleagues at the head table, good night. And to my political leader and the best Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel, a pleasant good evening. You know, permit me to say this. I want to pay tribute to our queen, my queen, your queen, the UNC queen, Kamala Persad-Bissessar. I'll tell you something, brothers and sisters. May Almighty God continue to bless her with the wisdom and the strength to continue to take us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, out of this bondage of this wicked, rowdy PNM government. And it's time we go forth. We go together as one. My discussion is twofold. A little bit of health and a little bit of rural government. And I will start. On the 10th of September, on Saturday, the World Health Organization celebrated World Suicide Prevention Day. The theme then was creative hope through acting. Now, the acting is action, but not in this country of Trinidad and Tobago. It said an estimated 743,000 people, friends, every year commit suicide. And for every suicide, there's likely to be 20 others, persons who most likely will try to do the same. And in the Caribbean, we have Guyana and Trinidad, two populous countries that rank high among the other Caribbean countries. So each suicide death has now become a major public health concern. So this year is the focus of sensitization to non-governmental organizations, to the government, and also to remove the stigma. But my friends, I tell you, I was saddened. We're talking about suicide. And on the social media, I know some of the counselors who are here, and my members of my team will see, there was a teacher who hung himself from San Grande Hindu School. And I paid tribute and condolences to the family. No one knows what goes through the mind of somebody who wants to take their life. But I'll tell you, my friends, the PNM government has led this country into oppression. And a lot of people end up being hopeless, helpless. They can't feed themselves or the family. They can't even buy medication. It's either food or medicine. And because of that, many of them have thought of taking their lives. Yes, friends, this country is a country with a lot of mental stress and depression. So you think you'll hear about deaths here? I'll tell you something as a physician. Many people feel alone and left out. This is another way they may kill themselves. Attempt suicide is by stop taking, especially middle-aged elderly, stop taking the chronic disease medication. Because of that, the sugar will go high, the pressure will go high, the cholesterol will go, they'll get sick, end up in hospital and dying. Because you know why? They don't have money to buy the basics. That's what this wicked government had put. But if you put back this government, UNC government, we will come back on top and look after the people. I have a sad news of statistic here. The COVID-19 pandemic. Here are the statistics, my friends. 10.5 million children have been orphaned because the parents would have died from COVID-19. And you know here in this Trinidad, that is true. And because of that, it's compounded. These children will live a life of poverty, orphanism, abuse, and mental health challenges. And we're not thinking about that. That online learning for the 2 years, my friends, the psychosocial aspects of that will evolve. And we'll see what will happen. Some of these children might end up in crime. Do we have the psychological backup to take care of our children? Our children are our greatest future. That's why our political leader always says, look after the little ones. My friends, brothers and sisters, our leader says, put God in front. And this is what we have. We need to put God in front because this country will have nowhere to go because the patrimony of this country continues to be sold out, and food, health, every aspect of life that we live in is reaching to a point of untouchable. My friend, I am saying this, but let me tell you something. The world keeps changing. Look at it. China has had over 90 days of drought, right? The Yangtze River Basin accounts for 40% of the GDP, right? Now, in Europe, most of the European countries and the rivers have more or less dried up to the point of the worst drought in 500 years. Look at Pakistan. 1 in 7 persons have been affected by the floods. Look at the heat wave in USA. Many of you don't know, in the Horn of Africa, they have 4 successive dry seasons. That's Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, Kenya, and Somalia. But these people are starving. And they used to get food also from Ukraine. But we all know what happened with the war with Russia and Ukraine. So while we're thinking about all this in our little Trinidad and Tobago, amongst our Caribbean neighbors, you know what? Food, as you can see, when tomatoes and bagan reach $20 a pound, food is going to be a scarce commodity. The supply chains, my friends. I remember clearly well when the Minister of Health had said about taking vaccines. I myself take vaccines. My friends, let me tell you something. On the Ministry of Health website, there is something called, and you need to hear this, the National Strategic Plan for the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Disease. And it's labeled on the website 2017 to 2021. But you know what? This is 2022. We're in September. There is nothing. There is nothing. But we are in a crisis because, as the politically would say, they have no plan. They have no plan. So when we talk about non-communicable diseases, what are we talking about? Diabetes, hypertension, stroke, cancer, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. But I'll tell you something, my friends. Heart disease is the commonest cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago. Cancer, among the other Caribbean countries, we are the leading cause of mortality in Trinidad and Tobago. And what it is, everybody has asthma with all the Sahara dust. So at the end of the day, all this healthcare means is that more and more people get sick. They can't afford the medication. They go to the public health sector and they can't get the attention. Is that a failed health sector? Boo to Diyal Singh. Boo to him. With the onset of diabetes, my friends, more and more people are getting complications in terms of the lifestyle changes, how they eat, how they drink. So here what? Delayed treatment in the clinic. They're getting cataract and glaucoma. They're getting heart disease, kidney disease. Do you know how long you have to wait for dialysis? It's such a long time. Do you know how long you have to get an appointment to get an angiogram? In fact, do you know how long you have to wait an appointment for your clinic? And in the meantime, your target organs go. So more and more people getting sick, more and more stuff that is happening to the health. My friend, who it is, I understand, and I am congratulate the Minister of Health. He's better. But you know, I thought he got COVID-19 when he's in Arima. Then he said he gets swine flu. Or was it monkeypox? It's like he could get a whole zoo. My friends, let me go quickly now to rural government neglect. You know, many of the roads in rural communities are neglected. We don't say roads, what we see is pothole. It's easier. Now you don't gauge to go on onto the roads. You drive through the pothole and look for the flattest area to drive. And I can tell you, many of the roads, from Bonnet Road, St. Mary, Manuel, Kaiwal Road, Guatapahara Road, Kunapo, Plumitan Road, Salmadi Road, and so forth and so forth. But let me tell you something. You think it's water? Let me tell you, water, water, water. There is a program called rainwater harvesting. You know what that is, my friends? That is to collect rainwater on your galvanized. Put a spout in and put it in your barrel. That's what it has come back to. You know what has come back again? First of all, our people in Cumuto, Manzanilla, like many other rural districts, they don't get water like every other week, you know. It's months and months and months. I have a community up in Cumuto. They haven't gotten water in over a year. And these people are so humble and feeling that they wait and they pray for a little bit of rain. But I'll tell you, a toilet takes 1.6 gallons of water. And that 1.6 gallons of flush toilet, they don't even have that. So you guess what? We going back in time. Rolly taking we back in time. You know what we have to build? Latrine. We have to build latrine. That's what the people tell me they have to build because they don't even have water to drink. Many of the schools have started. And guess what? This now, what does it mean? That the parents cannot wash the school uniform. And in the rural communities, what they do? Unfortunately, that they keep the children home. That is so, so sad. I just want to go back into the health sector for a short while and ask the Minister of Health, one, how many people got swine flu vaccines in 2021 to 2022? And how many vaccines have been ordered for 2022, 2023? And at what cost and when will they arrive? I'll tell you why I'll say that quickly. The Southern Hemisphere, that is primarily Australia, they get the influenza virus first. And this is the first time in 5 years that they have such a severe infection, almost a pandemic. So that means it will tell us in the Northern Hemisphere where we live that it's going to be a severe. That's what the experts say. The influenza virus is going to be severe. And as well, it's 3 times more cases. And so I move from landslips and water to schools. Many of our schools need repair. We have 2 schools. One, I'll tell you, as you go up Coal Mine there, the ECC Center needs to be open. Kamla Prasad Bisesa government build a school. Let's give her a round of applause. And this government has failed. These people come crying. They don't have funds to send these children to school. And that is so sad. The Sangre Chiquito Presbyterian School, that school has been in existence over 100 years, but they failed to actually start construction of that school. And then we talk a little bit about agriculture. Cumuto Manzanilla is full of agricultural products. In fact, I've been in discussion with the CEO of Namdevco to look at non-wheat flour. What is non-wheat flour? Well, you have wheat flour. So non-wheat flour is like breadfruit, cassava, dasheen, yam, green fig, plantain. This is where we need to go as a world because wheat prices have gone up. And guess what? We have it here. But you know what? We still waiting in the pumps in the river swamp. We're still waiting on water for the agricultural station, both in Mapa Farms and in the river swamp. The Calto Bridge still broken down. That is the thoroughfare for the farmers to use. My friends, this government serious? No, they're not serious. And that's the price that we have to pay. Many of the yellow school buses do not want to go in the bad roads in the rural community. So many of the parents have to fork out that little bit of money that they may have to send their children to school. But you know what? In many instances, again, rural neglect, those children end up staying home. It's really, really sad that these children have to suffer because of this. But let me tell you something. Cumuto Manzanilla is a beautiful place. And not only agricultural part could do, we could also do ecotourism. And I tell you, come down to that area. See what it is about, the simplicity of lives of people. Because I'll tell you, one of the things that I keep clamoring for, every single denomination is there in Cumuto Manzanilla. But play one. I have lobbied this in Parliament and in Hansard, that I pray that one day that this government will say, let's build a Muslim school for the Islamic population. And my friends, I will leave like that. And I felt very humbled that as we walked in as parliamentary colleagues with our political leader, went through the August chamber of the Lower House, and I felt very elated and happy as a practitioner and as a member of parliament from Cumuto Manzanilla that she elected me, and I'm here to serve her, the party, and the constituents of Cumuto Manzanilla. God bless you all, and I thank you.